What's going on, folks? It's the post-game show. Bass Pro Tour, Lake Fork. Here we go. Gotta let some Whiskey Myers get us going today. Big shout out to Cody Cannon from Whiskey Myers, man. That's my dude. Love that guy. Fun guy to fish with. Hold him up. Get the brine in the cup. Let's drink him down. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Y'all know about Frog, man. Y'all know about this song right there? Huh? It was cold today, though, boys. It was cold today. Yes, sir. Love that song. If anybody ever wants to know what my favorite song on earth is, that's it right there. Frogman from Whiskey Myers, man. Thank you guys so much for joining us. A little bit early today on the post-game show, but you know what? Everybody's turning in early in the world of bass fishing. We get a little bit of sleep falling, and everybody wants to quit early. I mean, what a bunch of freaking sissies over there at the Bass Pro Tour on Lake Fork, man. I mean, we're just a bunch of girls. Like, what, we get a little sleep, we can't fish? What's up with... Folks, I'm kidding. My guide trip got canceled today, and it was my choice. So I'm kidding, kind of. But I am going to pick on y'all for being a bunch of quitters. Y'all all need to go to rehab. Rehab for quitters. I'm just saying. Like, this is ridiculous. This is professional fishing. You scheduled a tournament in Northeast Texas for February. You knew what you were asking for, folks. You got to fish. You got to go. You got to go, man. Come on. Ain't no lightning. Ain't no unsafe boating winds. There's nothing unsafe. Like, they're claiming that it's here's what bothers me. They're claiming that it's unsafe. What's unsafe? The wind isn't any higher than, in fact, it's going to calm down tomorrow some. They're talking about ice, but they're wanting to fish Friday. Friday mornings when the ice is going to be the worst. So I don't understand. I don't understand. What y'all think about my new beanie? 6 cents fishing beanie? Check that out. I like it. I'm going to take it off, though, because it's kind of warm in this garage. So we'll put the other lid on. I just wanted to show that off. By the way, if you want some 6 cents beanies for these ice fishing days, you can go over to 6centsfishing.com. Order any of the apparel, order any of the gear. Be sure you use the code YourLakeForkGuide and get yourself a 10% discount on all orders. Man, we got quite a few people in here on the face space. We're live on both, by the way. I'm live on YouTube on my right and Facebook on my left, I believe. I think that Facebook is beating YouTube on comments and people joining us. That's going to be a little challenging. What did I just do? What did I just do? I just did something. I changed the way I'm seeing it. Now I have to turn my head like this to read the comments. I ain't quitting nothing. Where do I send my payment for this recap? Man, I don't know. It's free, baby. Hey, we don't really charge for fishing reports around here. I'm just saying. We're not like everybody. We don't charge for fishing reports on this channel. Pretty cool day today, man. Justin Lucas was the most impressive. He went out there early in the day and got after it. That, to me, was the most impressive thing. Now, I know he ended up not being at the lead at the end, but also maybe the most impressive overall. Actually, let me rephrase that. The most impressive thing today was Dakota Ebert. That dude went for the W in his elimination round. He tried to catch Alton Jones, and he dumped it, caught every fish he could. He dumped it on the gas and let the clutch go and got after it yesterday. Burnt through every fish that he could yesterday. Yet somehow still today, this cat caught him again. He's proven to be very versatile. A couple guys that are very versatile that I'm looking forward to watching on Friday now, I guess, is going to be Justin Lucas and Dakota Ebert. Those guys have shown that they have the ability to go from different techniques, different types of areas on the lake, and still catch quality fish and keep themselves very high up there in the standings. So it was interesting. It's a very cool tournament to watch if you want to learn. If you're just wanting to see the most fish get caught, you want to see Lake Fork show out, 100 pounds, all that, not really the best tournament to watch for a Lake Fork tournament. But if you're wanting to learn things about how to fish in different conditions, how to adjust to conditions, and you're paying close attention, this is a very, very cool tournament to watch. So Hey, everybody's watching right now. Do me a favor, whether you're on YouTube or Facebook, drop me a like. Let me know you're enjoying the content. If you do, even if you don't like it, hit the thumbs down or hit the other thumbs up. It don't cost you nothing. It helps your boy out. I sure would appreciate it. Obviously, I need some help. If you know me, you know. So, obviously, I need some help. Also, share this thing, man. If you guys know how to share it, please do share it. I would greatly appreciate that. Having two screens to look at is confusing me. I'm having a hard. This first time I've done YouTube and Facebook simultaneous. We may have to do this more often though. Why not? Why not get to more people, right? It's. I'm gonna have to get used to it though, because it's got like I don't know where to look. Like a dog with, like when you throw a dog two balls at once and he runs from one to the other and keeps dropping the other one. That's what I'm doing right now. It's kind of freaking me out a little bit. So, oh man. Anyways, I don't know. I don't necessarily agree with them stopping competition early today. And yes, if I saw somebody comment this a minute ago, if you're on the cut line, how irritating, frustrating, infuriating must that be if you're on the cut line? And they just cut you off your last period. Ryan Salzman, the guy who gave us a big shout out yesterday, who, by the way, we're all fans of Ryan Salzman now. If you're watching this channel, he gave us much love on live coverage yesterday. So we all need to go follow Ryan Salzman on any social media platform you can find him. Alabama Bass Guide, I think, is his social media name. He was at ninth at one point during that second period, then towards the end slipped down a couple spots. Like, if he had that third period, dog, like he might get in. Like, how frustrating must that be for him and all the other guys that were within, reach. And the thing about it is, on Lake Fork, on a tough day on Lake Fork, okay, in this format, think about this. In this format, on a challenging day on Lake Fork where there's not as many catches, we all know on Lake Fork, up to 6, 7, 8 pounds out of the cut line, you're one bite away. Like, you're realistically one bite away. This time of year, especially on Lake Fork, a 6 to 8 pounder is not uncommon at all. So, yeah, you don't catch many fish, but we catch a lot of those size fish. So, I mean, everybody that's within 8 pounds of the cut line was realistically within one bite of being in versus being out. Go look at that leaderboard. There's like quite a few guys. There's a good 5, 6, 7, 8 guys that were within that 8 pound range of the cut line, man. There was a bunch of dudes that had one bite and they could have got it. They could have got it. So that has to hurt for them. I mean, it's the way this sport goes. Crazy things. One thing about fishing, crazy things happen. Fish do stupid things for stupid reasons because they're fish. And they're got a pea-sized brain and they do weird stuff sometimes. And apparently tournament directors do too. All that aside, I was not on the water with those guys today. I do not know how terribly cold it must have felt. I've been in similar situations. I fished in those situations. It wasn't undoable. It wasn't undoable. It was doable. And if you're going to be the best tournament trail in the world, you're going to be the highest level of fishing, you can't back down because the conditions are going to be uncomfortable and not be fun. I don't see, they kept talking about dangerous. What danger? What danger? It's only dangerous if you're not clothed correctly. And if you're a professional, you ought to be able to clothe yourself correctly. It wasn't outrageous winds. And as far as getting in and out of the boat ramp, there wasn't any real issue for that. We've all gotten in and out of boat ramps in 20-degree weather before, or at least I have, and a lot of guys I know have. So, and then for them to move tomorrow's deal because the high is only going to be like 33 or whatever, well, that just leaves a whole other day for freeze to set in and going to make the roads and the ramps and all that even icier come Friday morning because it's going to be the lowest temperature of the week is Friday morning, guys. So are we moving it because of ice or are we moving it because it's uncomfortable and the fishing sucks? I don't know. Not my decision to make. It's okay. What it does for us is it kind of opens the schedule, gives us a day to take a breather. Woosah. Then on Friday, we can all watch the final, which is going to be pretty awesome. Like, we're going to get to see Jacob Wheeler. We're going to get to see a father and son, Alton Sr. and Alton Jr., both in there. We're going to get to see Lake Fork. We're going to get to see more big bass. There was another 10 freaking pounder caught today. Like, it's like every single day of this event, they catch 10 pounders. Where do they do that at? I mean, I know they caught some, like the biggest of all time on Bussy Break with that 12, whatever it was, 12, 14, 13 pounder almost. But where else have we ever seen in the history I think this, I'm going to go out there and put this out there. This is the first time in the history of bass fishing that a 10-pounder has been caught in every day of the competition of a professional level tournament. The only one that I might be wrong on would be the 2008 Lake Falcon event. They may have caught a 10-pounder all 4 days of that event. I don't know. Somebody may have caught a 10 on all 4 days of that. I'm not sure. Certainly, this is the first time we've had a 5-day event where we've caught 5 10-pounders. Like, Lake Fork's something, y'all. Lake Fork is a little something different. It's a different level, dude. It's something special out there at the old Goat Lake. That's why we call it the Goat Lake, because it does stuff like that. So, really, really cool to see that. What else? What else is going on? You guys on YouTube, drop me some comments. Let's see. Local man made it to the championship. Yeah, Jeff Sprague. So I got 2 of my 3 picks. So we did our picks. I got Jacob Wheeler and Jeff Sprague were 2 of my picks. Edwin Evers was my other pick. He did not make it through today. Jeff Sprague and Jacob Wheeler obviously both did make it in. So 2 of my 3 picks are in the top 10. That's pretty darn salty right there. Edwin had a tough time this morning. I was worried about Edwin, dude. Like when that weather changed, it's just like he seemed, even though he did good because he's Edwin Evers and he executed and made the most of what he had, he just seemed mentally like he didn't feel great about what he had. Like he was very stressed out. He wasn't fishing clean. He was losing fish at times. He just wasn't. And that's fishing, dude. That happens to every single person, even the very best in the world, you know, like Edwin Evers, who's one of the very best. Sometimes you're just not sharp. You know, things just don't quite click. And they didn't quite click for Edwin this week. So he didn't make it in. He didn't make it in the top 10. And it's hard. It's hard. The top 10 out of 80 guys or whatever it is, that's difficult to make it into that club with that crew that they're fishing against. So how do I think Bass Champs will fish Saturday after all this competition? I don't think that you need to worry about the guys catching all the fish. Listen, the most they ever put on the water on any one day is 40 boats. 40 boats on Lake Fork is absolutely nothing. It is a drop in the bucket of a normal day at Lake Fork throughout the year. 40 boats is no big deal. I mean, Friday there's only going to be 10 boats out there. So really, Wednesday, today, you have 40 boats. You've had 40 boats for 5 days, but you're going to have Thursday, Friday with no tournament, or Thursday with no tournament, then only 10 boats on Friday. So Marty Stone said the tournament director told all of them last night the day may be only 2 periods today, so the fishermen knew about it. Yeah, I mean, I know they were aware of it. I know they were aware of it. So I just don't necessarily think that it was it didn't seem like it was dangerous to me. It's not on me to make that, you know, at the end of the day, they're a big organization. They got to worry about liability and insurance and da-da-da-da. So there's some of that comes into it that I don't have to necessarily worry about when I'm out there. It just didn't seem like a day where, like, they scheduled a tournament in Northeast Texas in February. They know there's a good chance they're going to run into some of this. I mean, everybody remember last February? Or February before that? Or the end of January the year before that? Like, it always happens. Like, you know that's going to be something that you're going to have to deal with. And I guess this was their plan to deal with it was, well, we'll just delay it a day or two because it usually only lasts a day or two in Texas. I just don't understand the move to Friday. Like, if we're worried about ice, the ice is going to be worse Friday than it is today. It's going to be worse Friday than it's going to be tomorrow. Friday morning. Now, it'll thaw some throughout the day Friday because it's going to get into the mid to upper 40s, but it just feels like with the way they rescheduled it, that the move they made was not safety but more comfort oriented. And they just wanted to put on the best show they can, which I understand that too, but that's not the reason to postpone a tournament like this. Why am I so critical of these guys? It's a pretty awesome show. Like, I don't know why. I guess, you know, we got to have something to talk about, right? Like, there wasn't a lot of fish catches today. The main topic is they cut it short and they moved the championship a day. So that's what we're going to talk about, and that's my opinion on it, and that's what's coming out. It doesn't mean that I'm not going to watch every second that I can come Friday or the next time they have an event. It doesn't mean that I respect these guys' abilities or toughness or anything any less. I mean, these guys are I admire every one of them. They're really, 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 really good. Like a lot better than I'll ever be. So I still enjoy. I still enjoy it. It's probably just that stupid, hardcore Marine Corps mentality of mine, where let's be honest. If you know me personally, some of you on here do know me personally. I don't make the best decisions at all times. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't often make the best decisions. I quite often make the worst decisions. Do I got any brown water over there? Jeremiah, I got some brown water over there. There it is. Take you a sip as well. How would I handle the situation? How would I handle the situation if I was in the competition and I was like below the cut line? Oh, I'd be furious. I'd be furious. I'd be slamming all my rods around in the rod locker right now, slamming all the doors in and out of wherever I was staying. I'd be packing my stuff and driving right through all this so-called ice just to show them that it wasn't that bad. Like, I'd be real, real mad if I was below the cut line. Like, if I was Ryan Salzman, and I've got a little bit of a temper. Like, I got a little bit of an anger management issue at times. I'd be real mad. I'd act like an idiot. I'd be embarrassed the next day for the way I behaved, but I would be mad. And I'm very competitive. So when I would lose, I would just be mad anyway. That's one of the reasons I don't think, like, I like tournament fishing, but I don't necessarily know that I love it. I do like it, and I love competition, but it's kind of an unhealthy thing for me a little bit, because I get so wound up and so competitive. And in that world, like, you're going to lose most of the tournaments you fish. Everybody does. The best in the world lose most of the tournaments they fish. I'm not built for that. I don't handle that very well at all. It's a flaw in my character, to be honest with you. I'm a brat. When it comes to competition, I'm a brat. Like, y'all don't understand. Listen, I coach my kids' U12 soccer team. And, like, when we lose a game, it ruins my Saturday. And it's like recreational soccer. It means nothing. It's nothing. But I'm in a bad mood the rest of Saturday when we lose. It's just, I can't help it, man. I try not to. I just can't help it. Don't forget there's camera crews and officials in the boats. Yeah, I mean, they're in the boats, so, I mean, if they're clothed correctly, what's their danger? They're sitting still. I mean, for the most part, the cameraman moves around some. I mean, are they realistically, like, worried about somebody falling in the water? Is that what they're worried about? Like, ice on the deck of the boat and they're falling in the water? It didn't seem like there was that much ice. It didn't feel like it was that bad. You getting yellow cards in youth soccer? I might have gotten one. I might have gotten one. As a coach, I might have gotten a yellow card one time. Yeah, maybe. Papa Watts. There he is. That's my guy right there, old Zach Watts there. What's going on, Mr. Watts? Old Papa Rich in the house. Good to see you here. We're doing good over here. How much do I think the water temps will drop, and will it push fish back to closer to the main lake? That's a good question. How much do I think the water temps will drop, and will it push fish to the main lake? The water temps are definitely going to drop significantly. It's going to be a big drop. Now, how much is it going to drop? That's going to depend on what area you're in, because we're going through this warming situation where parts of the lake are warming much more than other parts of the lake. Now, parts of the lake are going to cool much more than other parts of the lake. So it's going to depend on what section of lake you're on how much it will drop. It's going to drop significantly all over the lake, for sure. No doubt about it. Big time drop. Especially now that they're moving it back another day, with another day well below the water temp for a high. It's really going to, the bottom's going to fall out of the water temps. I don't think it will move fish very much. It'll move some, a little bit. And mostly what it will do is condense fish. So those fish that pushed into those shallow areas, and some of them have probably started spawning. We went to a different lake yesterday, but we saw fish on beds yesterday on a different lake that's pretty close to Fork. some of those fish that got up super shallow like we saw on Monday and Tuesday, those fish, what they're going to do is condense into the first little drain, the first depth change. So if they're up there in 1 to 2 foot of water on the flat and there's a 3, 4, 5 foot of water ditch in the middle, they're just going to condense to that area within that big flat. They're not going to actually pull out of the creek, in my opinion. They just condense and they just sit there and they get really, really inactive and really, really hard to catch. Which brings me to my next point. When conditions get extreme, in my opinion, you must go extreme to catch these fish. And what I mean by that is you got to go one of two ways: extremely finesse or extremely reactive. One guy that I'm going to watch very closely in the championship round, now he was live scoping with a jerkbait today, which is extremely reactive. That's it. That's an extreme reaction bait. But Justin Lucas has also picked up a drop shot in this event. And he's the only one that I've seen pick up a drop shot. He's the only one that's gone extremely finesse. In this format, will he catch them fast enough on that drop shot? Will he have to catch them fast enough? Because guys may not catch very many fish. Nobody may not catch hardly very many fish come Friday with the weather. But Justin Lucas being dialed in on a drop shot deal right now, to me, is a huge advantage for him over other people in this event. Because of that, because I just haven't seen anybody else do it. He's the only one that's going extremely finesse. But that's the way you do it. When the conditions get super extreme, you get these super extreme cool trends, you got to locate them, but then you got to catch them, you got to go extremely finesse or extremely reactive. So within those drains where they pull back to, you got to take that drop shot and just hold it there and fish it real small, real slow, small baits. You can get bit like that. Or you can go the other way and throw that movement 80X and throw a jerk bait and throw the biggest bladed spinnerbait you got and slow roll it and, you know, things like that. So you go extremely reactive, which we've seen a lot of in this event as well, in this cold water, extremely hard vibrating baits and things like that. Yeah, he didn't use the drop shot today. Justin Lucas was throwing a jerkbait today, but he used the drop shot in earlier rounds. And that, to me, is an advantage to him for championship day. It didn't look that bad. Easy to say from your warm couch. I know. Listen, I said that. I wasn't out there in it with them, you know. I had a guide trip today that we canceled. So who am I to judge them? I don't know, man. You schedule that tournament, maybe it was unsafe. Realistically, they probably made the right call. I'm being selfish, and I want to see this event unfold. Like, I'm anxious. I want to see it. Like, I've been having fun watching it. I've been having fun doing these post-game shows. So, you know, I'm frustrated. I wanted to see all 3 rounds today. I wanted to see them catch more fish. I'm trying to read comments here. Of course, you know, in my opinion, also, this is Jacob Wheeler's event to lose. He got 5 hours of extra practice in his day 2 round. He's gotten 3 days of rest, which could be an advantage. But listen, guys, that can be a disadvantage that he's had 3 days off the water. Listen, one of the worst things you can do for your fishing abilities is take time off the water. Like, time on the water, hopefully Wheeler went and fished some other lakes, which I bet he probably did, knowing him. Hopefully he went and fished other lakes, because staying on the water and staying with the fish and seeing how they're behaving every day is a big advantage. Taking those days off is not always an advantage. It can be a big disadvantage. Yeah, these aren't baseball pitchers. No, I agree with you. I mean, it's good to let your fish rest a day sometimes. I will say that. What is good is letting your fish rest a couple days sometimes. So that can be beneficial to Wheeler. You know, his areas haven't been fished in 3 days. That's going to give his areas more chance to have fish that have been less pressured than some of the other guys that have had to fish the last 2 days in a row. Jacob and Senior are Main Lake. Do you think that gives them an advantage? Yeah, I think it does. I think the Main Lake fish are going to be a little bit less effective and a little bit more prone to bite come Friday. The guys that are fishing backs of creeks are going to have to work a little harder for them. This is Friday is looking like it's going to be one on the main lake, most likely, or close to the main lake. In the first third of a major creek or on the main lake itself is probably where Friday is going to be one. I've seen some guys asking about the spawn on Lake Fork. When will it really be going? Somebody asked what my favorite month for spawn is. April. The whole month of April, there's fish spawning all across the lake for the most part. Will the spawn be going by March 11th and 12th? Probably at least a little bit for sure, but how much of the lake and how viable will sight fishing be, that all depends on the weather. It really depends. It might be almost none, and it might be a lot. It just all depends on the weather. French fry on a slider head. Doug, what are you doing? You trying to drop some secret baits on here? Someone said they saw fry yesterday. I don't know about that. Maybe. I mean, it's possible. Jerk bait on Friday. Yeah, I mean, this tournament's probably going to be won. I think the tournament's going to be won by somebody using a live scope, throwing a jerk bait. I think that's how it's going to be won Friday. I really do. I mean, it's just a good way to keep a bait in a fish's face when he doesn't want to bite and force him to react. It's the best way that there's ever been to do that. Excuse me. Somebody said, remember Wheeler was there putting in practice in January when nobody else was? That's true. I mean, that's why he's been so dominant in this event. He outworked him in that deal. I mean, there was nobody else out there but him. What drop shot bait? I have no idea. Knowing Justin Lucas, he's the one throwing drop shot. He's probably throwing that Berkeley flatworm. He's a Berkeley sponsored guy, so I'm sure he's throwing the flatworm. Yeah. John Sykes said I would slow roll an A-rig. Well, they can't. That's not allowed. They're not allowed to use A-rigs. Yeah, flatworm or little general on Justin Lucas drop shot, probably so. Probably so. With colder weather, I decided it was time for the mullet to go. Man, mullet's gone. We're back to the old Hoorah Marine Corps haircut these days. No, it wasn't no colder weather, to be honest with you. I cut it off before it got too cold. It wouldn't make any sense anyway, I guess. But so what happened is I've had my hair cut like this my whole life. Like since I was a kid, I've had my hair cut like this. And I grew that mullet because I asked you guys if y'all wanted me to grow a mullet, and y'all all said yes, so I grew a mullet. It got long enough to where that hair started wrapping around and like hanging on my ears when I was fishing and stuff. And I was like literally spending the whole day in my boat like this. Like combing my hair like I was a little girl or a little frat boy or something, a little pretty boy. I couldn't stand it. I couldn't stand the hair being on my ears. I had to get rid of it. It was driving me bonkers. That's a South Dallas ball fade. Dylan knows what's up. Yeah, Dylan, you know what's up, the old South Dallas ball fade. It's a North Houston ball fade where I'm from. But yeah, same deal. Same deal, man. I like them old ball fades. That's how we do it. Was there that much ice there today to stop early? And you know, something that's going on for me, it's really weird. It's probably lending me to have a hard time understanding this, is I live 35 minutes south of Lake Fork Marina. It's how long it takes me to get to Lake Fork Marina, straight south. There's like a line where there's like, right here at my house, there's zero ice. Zero. Nothing. There's a little bit of water in the driveway. It ain't even froze. Like, there's no ice. But over in, you know, the northern part of DFW and in apparently up there, there's some ice. So, I mean, there was definitely some ice. You could see some accumulating on the boat deck. You could see some on guys' jackets. You could see some on the camera. I didn't think they should have stopped it early, but I wasn't there. What bait would I be using right now? Probably a, jig's still playing for some guys too. We saw Jeff Sprague throwing a jig a little bit today. That jig's still in play for some of those guys. So what bait would I be using? Probably I don't know. Probably a jig. I'd probably throw a jig just because I like doing that. But a jerkbait would have to be, like if I was fishing that tournament, every fish counts, I'd be trying to live scope with a jerkbait. That's what I'd be doing. I'd be getting my butt kicked by guys that are better than me at doing it because I'm not that great at it. But that'd be that's the right thing to do right now. Those fish are just locking up with this cooler weather, and that's a way to, like I said, that's a way to keep a bait in their face and force them to react to it. And when they lash out at a jerkbait, you got them. You got 9 points of death hanging off that thing, dude. You're going to stick them, Whereas if they short strike a jig, you're going to miss them. So, I don't know. Man, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap this thing up. That's all I'm going to do tonight. I've got some things to do this evening, so I'm going to get going. I am going to see you guys on Friday. I will have a video to post both on YouTube and on Facebook, since I'm doing both right now. We will have a video of fishing, like on the water video from another lake from last week when we filmed it, is going to post tomorrow. And then Friday, we'll be right back here live for the post-game report. We're supposed to have a seminar this Friday. Crap, I forgot about that. Whoops, we may have to rearrange some stuff there. I don't know. Stay tuned. We'll tell you guys. We'll make posts about what we're doing with the seminar come Friday because I completely forgot about the seminar with this tournament being here. So, anyways, thank you guys for watching. As always, appreciate it. We'll see you next time right here and right here on Your Lake Fork Guide.